What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about ranking your site #1 on Google, specifically photography sites, because I am a photographer. So I'm actually going to break these videos down. It's going to be like 3 videos because I don't feel like I can adequately tell you how to do this in one video. There are tons of videos out there that say rank your site in 24 hours and they have a 10-minute video on SEO, and I've tried all those videos. It took me a full year to rank my site #1 on Google, and once I figured out all of the little steps and secrets that people don't tell you, I ranked my site within like 3 months of knowing those things. Then I went on to rank an automotive site in my town. So I have a small town. My town's like 66,000 people. And we're going to discuss size and how long you should wait and be patient as well. But I ranked an automotive site on page 1. I ranked my site. I ranked a competitor photographer site for their town, which is like a town over from mine. I don't have hundreds of sites that I've ranked, so I'm not some SEO guru. However, out of the few sites that I have done, 100% have been ranked. So even though my method does take a while and you have to be patient, it will rank you, and then it's almost as if you anchor yourself to the first page as long as you keep updating your blog, like weekly or every 2 to 3 weeks. I consistently stay on the first page for my town, and I'll show you that too. So basically in this video, we're going to discuss #1, your keywords. So we're going to develop your keywords list. And then #2, we're going to discuss your homepage for your website, because your homepage or your landing page is the most important page of your website for Google to read. So we'll discuss those things in depth, and I will actually show you the back end of my website so you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. The thing about Google and ranking on the first page, especially when you start out with nothing, when you start out with no money like I did, you can't pay someone to do this for you. And it's as if you're just grasping at everything you can to get business. So I want to help you out so that you can do this yourself. It does take time, it takes dedication, and it takes a lot of patience, but you can do it. I did. So let's jump right in, and I will show you on my computer. We'll do a screen record. So the first thing I want to do is demonstrate that I show up a couple different places. So Wedding Photographers, Rock Hill, South Carolina. I show up here, which is my Google business site, which we will get to later because you definitely need one of those. And as you see, I show up as the absolute first photographer for this area, because these right here, that's wedding wire and that's the knot. So organically, I show up as #1, and I'm actually targeting Charlotte, North Carolina right now. So as you see right here with my keywords, Wedding Photographers, Rock Hill, South Carolina. I started on this town about 2-3 years ago, and I still show up as #1. If we go to Fort Mill, South Carolina, I ranked this person's site, these photographers, and as you see, they're almost staying here. They're on the first page. Like Wiley Wedding Photographers, I show up first thing. I have a video that shows up right on the top. Images that are mine, this one right here. Oops. Another town, Chester, South Carolina, show up top here. Here I am on other pages that you will actually, I will show you how to make those as well. Here I show up on the first page. York, South Carolina, another town close to us, I show up here on the first page. So this is just to give you some examples of how you can show up in multiple places, and that I've successfully done this. The first thing we're going to do is write our keywords list. It's probably going to be easier to do it on the computer so you can copy and paste it places, but I like to write things down in books because I'm old and weird, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, so the way you're going to develop your list is figure out what you are. So for this list, I made this geared towards my friend Becca, who lives in Monticello, Kentucky, and she is a newborn photographer predominantly. So you'll have a list of short keywords, which would be like newborn photographer, newborn photography, newborn photography studio, and all of this would be in Monticello, Kentucky. And these are going to be your site keywords. Then you would go into your long tail words, which would be something like this: newborn photographers in Monticello, Kentucky. Because when people talk into Google, they would say something like that. So this keyword list is going to be rather short. When we get to the blogging section, it will be much longer. Okay, guys, so let's get started on the home page. I use Wix. I don't know what kind of site you use, but Wix makes it very easy for us to go into the back end of things. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the name, titles and names and things like that, and then we'll go right into the page. So as you can see, we are on the home page, and the first thing we're going to go to is page info. Now, this is what's going to show up on your menu on your website. I'll show you here. You would have that here. So you would want to name that home or something like that. Okay. So over on the page, we're going to leave it to where it's not hidden from the menu because we want people to be able to see it. So we know that's our home page. Okay. Then we're going to go on to our SEO. So the page's title is very important because Google recognizes, excuse me, Google's able to pick up things with words. So I do have my name as the first thing rather than what I want Google to search. But that's because my name is very important to me. Starting out, you might want to put newborn photographer, Monticello, Kentucky, or whatever your keyword is in front of your name. So right now, I mainly promote my wedding photography because I feel like it brings me all kinds of other business as well, and I get the most amount of money from that. So my title is Jennifer Breckhuysen, and then I have this, and then it says Wedding Photographers, Charlotte, North Carolina, Rock Hill, South Carolina. Rock Hill, South Carolina is the town that I predominantly try to advertise to, and Charlotte is secondary, or was secondary, and now, as you see, I've reversed the two. So I targeted Rock Hill, and now I'm going to target Charlotte, and I've been targeting Charlotte. So then you need to put what the page is about. You need a description. Your keywords that we discussed earlier are going to need to go in this description. So as you can read, mine is wedding photography, Charlotte, North Carolina, Asheville, Charleston, South Carolina, Savannah, Georgia. And, they say that you're not supposed to keyword stuff, but it's very important to put your keywords in your description. If you are one niche, if you are just a newborn photographer, then you could put fine art newborn photographer serving such and such and such and make it a really pretty statement. And then, of course, down to your URL. So what I've put is home, photographer, Rock Hill, South Carolina. Now, I'm not going to change that to photographer, Charlotte, North Carolina, even though that's the city I am now starting to target. I'm leaving it as it is. If I change my homepage URL, then there's a lot of links that are going to have to change. So right now, that's where that is. And then you can put the keywords in. Now, Google doesn't really look. So the keyword list that we just made, you would type into here. Google does not really pick that up anymore, but other places do, like Yahoo and Bing. So it's important to go ahead and fill in whatever the keywords are for your page with whatever platform you're using, Wix, Squarespace, they all have this type of back end that you can use. So now that we've gotten all of the back end of that squared away, we're going to go to the homepage itself. So you need to be putting your site title. You're supposed to put your site title in your header. I put it in my footer. And the reason I do that is because I like for my header to just have my logo and just be really clean. You're also supposed to put your social media buttons in your header as well. That is what is recommended for 2018, 2019. I put them in my footer because, like I said, the aesthetics of the top of my site are more important to me. If you're just starting out, you might want to put that up at the top. This right here, okay, this is a different text box. This right here is my actual site title. You can barely read it, which they say that Google doesn't like, but it has not impacted me in any negative way. So let's take a look at it. Okay, themes is not in that's just like your design or whatever. So here's the heading tag right here, is the H1 tag that I've chosen for my site title. And so I have a good bit of words in my site title. The only ones it's really probably going to be picking up is this right here for now, Charlotte, North Carolina wedding photographers, and it might pick some of these up. So I've chosen that as my H1 tag. Now, there is a difference between an H1 and a site title. With Wix, I've not found a place to put a site title, so that is what I've chosen as my site title, and it hasn't given me anything bad. Like I've been able to rank and everything, and any site I've made with Wix, I've been able to rank. So now we're going to talk about your actual page titles, which I do as H2 tags, because since Google is all about understanding and interpreting your words, what you have as your page titles are also going to be read by Google and also very important. So it's a good idea to put the area you're serving in your page title. If it's the same thing, like if you're just one niche, like newborn photographer, Monticello, Kentucky, and that's down on your site title, and you want something prettier for your page title, go for it. Just don't put tons of words in there. Just make it easy for Google to read and easy for people to find you. Then you're going to need a clear and concise description of who you are and what you're about. When I first started my website, I literally had my logo, my menu, and pictures on the first page. That is what is aesthetically pleasing to me, and that's how I wanted to be known, is for my work. I didn't realize that Google had to read words. So then I had to come up with creative ways to say who I was and where I was. So you put who you are and what you do, and then you put your service area. Locally, I serve the greater Charlotte area to include blah, 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 blah. Anything that's important in your keywords, you need to make sure and put that in the paragraph, but in a more descriptive way than you would do it in a title. So I have a lot of different places here. I have a lot of different types of photography. So natural light is on here. Stunning dynamic portraits, timeless works of art, fine art, documentary, photojournalistic. So a lot of words that would be associated with wedding photographer. And then it's a hierarchy. So my important stuff up here, and then I come down to, oh, I also offer these services. Then this is just aesthetically pleasing to me. So this is something not important. But what is important is the sections. So not only are you going to want to have something eye-catching, we're not going to go into design too much, but you need a definitely eye-catching photo or whatever it is you're going to have on the top of your page. But then the rest of your page needs to be broken up into sections. You need to have your description, your titles, which we have. Then you need to have, so you have your menu up here that links to different places in your site. Well, you need other links on your front page too. So the important ones would be those links that are on your menu. and then links down here as well. It's not showing because I'm on the back end that these are links, but these are links. And you want to make sure that they are words that aren't here, like view my wedding portfolio here. You want it to say wedding portfolio, and then that is the link that you created. Google likes it when you create links like that. So I have every single thing that's in my menu down here. So I have my portfolios. I also have in my investment tab, if you click on these right here. And then I also have my services and my service area in a separate section from the top descriptor. I have ways for you to contact me. I have references to my blog, and this is really important that you have your blog and a few featured blogs on your homepage, because since Google is all about reading words, whatever you put in the title for your blogs, if it goes on your homepage, then Google starts to pick that up as well. Then you have, if you want people to subscribe to your site, you can put that there. I have a testimonial, and I have a outgoing link to the Knot where my other testimonials are. And then I have a gallery of sorts. And one thing that's important to know is that you want to keep your photos at about 4 megabytes or less. So I try to resize my photos at 1500 pixels long end. And then one of the most important things that people skip on the home page is a video and a video from YouTube. That's really important because Google owns YouTube. So if you haven't made a video for YouTube yet, make one just maybe welcoming people to your site or telling people who you are as a photographer, and link your video up to your home page. Google really, really likes that. So to go back over everything that we need on our first page, you need to make sure you go into your page settings like we did and cover your title for your site and your pages, or your first page. You need to make sure that you have your clear description of your site. You need to make sure you have your social media in the header if possible, as well as your site title in the header. If not, put it in the footer like I have. You need to make sure you have different sections on your home page that link not just up in the top menu, but also down here. And you need to make sure your links are words that the page might be about, not just check this portfolio out here and then here is the link. The link needs to be wedding portfolio, and that's what the words say. You need to make sure you have your sections, your services, service area, contact me, blog. You could put an about me section that goes to your about page. You could have a picture, Jennifer is, and then an artist, and the link goes to the about me page. I might actually just add that now since we talked about it. So there's a lot of different things you need to put. It needs to be a landing page. As much as I wanted mine to just be pictures, no words, just my logo, and how beautiful that would be, it's just not possible right now. Now, speaking of links on the first page, you need links that are embedded into your description as well. And I have embedded them to where you can't actually see that they're links, but where it says like Jennifer Breckheisen Photography, that will link to another place in my site. Let's see, maybe you can see. No, you can't because I've kind of hidden them. Which Google doesn't like it when you hide stuff, but they haven't had a problem with me doing this for the past 2 years. So you can definitely see the contact me down here. But you definitely want to have some links in your description, and you need outgoing links to other people's websites as well, which is why I wanted to make sure I had testimonials down here to the Knot, because that way it's saying, hey, I'm linked to other people. You're going to want to eventually get other people to link to your site, which we will discuss in depth later. So for right now, focus on getting your homepage all fixed up, and then also making a YouTube video that you can put on your site. And then the first thing, of course, is working on your keywords list. And you don't have to go super in depth with your keywords list right now. We will talk more in depth about that when we go to your blogs and all the different keywords you can put on that. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I actually am going to have a link in the description that goes back to my website to a PDF download so that you guys can download and your checklist so you can check off every step as you go. And there's not going to be any descriptions on this checklist, so you have to watch the video to follow along. Thank you for watching, and if you have any suggestions, just let me know.